So now guys, we will start the extra lesson from here. As you know, this is my first trial. There can be some kind of mistakes, things. You can write me your questions from WhatsApp. Right now I am writing on you from WhatsApp. I'm writing to you from WhatsApp. And only Hannah asked a question about the page 6. Also, Erzen asked me 2 questions, and I already solved them as videos. I'm going to start with that question. You can write me questions from WhatsApp. So before I start this one, and I will check for something from my phone, the connection from the phone. So now let's check how many people are watching this. So now let's go back there and let's start with the first question. The linear equations variables them. Okay. So right now 2 people is watching probably with me, and one of you are joined this one. So Mira, which page do you want? Can you write me the page from the PDF if you are able to, or if you are not? Linear equations with 3 variables. Tamam. So firstly, I'll go to the page 6. Right now 3 people are connected. Perhaps if you are watching from phone, you may have like smart TVs. Open it from TV and write me from phone. We can try that one also. So right now this is the first question that Erzan wanted, and I already solved this one on the trial videos. And the second question, and you can find them in trial videos, trial 1 and trial 2. This is the third question is the trial 3. So now Hannah asked me about page 6, this question. I think I'm not going to ask this question, but let's solve it one more time, because probably I'll ask this kind of questions which has 2 different things, like can be mixture or the other one ticket things. So now this question, here we have 4 people. Purpose, which means that means 3 of you are in here right now watching this one. That's what I see. It might be wrong. So there is a truck leaving this still with 60 kilometers per hour. After 30 minutes, Mercedes leaves with 70 kilometers per hour. So then we should find the time, which is, let's put there T and M. They are starting from same point. The speed of the truck is 60 kilometers per hour, and the speed of the Mercedes is 17. Given like that, we don't care about the real world ideas. So just try to solve it mathematical ideas. So then what happens in here? So after 30 minutes, first the truck leaves this down, then after 30 minutes, Mercedes will start. In 30 minutes, the truck will take how much? distance, how much far away will be in 30 minutes. So it's the speed is still 60 kilometers per hour. So in 1 hour it should go 60 kilometers. So in 30 minutes it will take 30-kilometer way, half of this one. So when the track is in here, when it changed the place from the first, then when the track is in here, the Mercedes starts to the right. So after a while, they will be in the same place, over there. So then we can make an equation like, let's say after t hours, they will be in the same place. And then to calculate this distance, we should multiply 60 kilometers by 30, t, and the Mercedes will take this much way, which is with 70 kilometers with t. So we can make two different kind of equations. Firstly, like sum of these two, 30 plus 60t equals the whole distance which Mercedes is going to take, which is 70 times the time. So which is, if you move 60 in here, it's going to be minus 60. So then 30 equals 10 t, which is t equals 3, which means it should go 3 hours more. Let's try to make this story once again. That is the starting point, and the track is starting and it's going for 30 minutes, half hour. So it takes in this half hour 30 kilometer away. So then another Mercedes starts from here. When the track is in there, Mercedes starts from here. So they say that after 3 hours, we found that after 3 hours, they will be at the same place, which is in 3 hours, the track will go 3 times 60, 180 kilometer way. What about the Mercedes? In 3 hours, how much or how far can it go? So since it was going with 70, 3 times in 3 hours, 3 times 70, 210 kilometer way it can take. So if you see that they add up, so they are equal to each other. So now another question has come from Mira, asked about the just in general. You can pick. Okay. The linear equations with 3 variables, she asked me. So let's go forward to there. Linear equations with 3 variables. If I remember them, one of them didn't have a solution. I hope that I changed that question. And in this one, I have made a number in here. I forgot that number. So let's choose any one of them, because in here, if you realize that in the class there was no solve the system by substitution method, by elimination method, so I will not ask you to the method. I will just ask you to solve the system in any way that you can. So let's go to the last one. Might be the hardest, I don't know. Let's see what happens. So in here we may use one of those two methods. Let's use the elimination method. So in elimination method, we should eliminate one letter by choosing first and second and first and third, or second and first, second and third. Two of them different orders we should choose. So let's look for it to eliminate which ones, the X letters in firstly or Z letters. Let's choose second and first and eliminate the Z. Second and third, eliminate the Z again. So since they are going to be added at they are going to be same at 6, the least common multiple. So right now, I hope that you are watching this one. I don't know, this is so, perhaps I should change the way. Right now, yes, the difference between substitution and elimination. Okay, I see the question. So firstly, I will solve this question by using elimination method, then substitution method. I will show you both so you can see the difference on your own. So right now I want to eliminate one of those three letters by choosing two of them. I'm going to choose second and first, eliminate Z, second and third, eliminate Z again. So for both of the cases, I'm going to multiply the second by 2. And let's say this is the first case, I'm going to multiply the first by -3, so they can be +6 and -6. So the first elimination for Z's, I'm going to write it in here. -3 times x, -3x, -3 times 6, -18y, and then -3 times 2, -6z, -3 times 9 is -27. So let's double everything in the second one, which is 6x minus 4y, and 2 times 3 plus 6z, and 2 times -1 is -2. So right now, if we add them side by side, that will be 3x minus 22y, and the z part will be eliminated 0 and -29. This is the first equation that we can use. So now the second one, I'm going to multiply by 2 again. So the other one, I should multiply by -3. So then right now in this second one, I'm going to be using second and third equation. So the second equation will be multiplied by 2, which is 6x minus 4y plus 6z equals -2. So now in the third one, it's so hard to check like that. We will do by times -3. So it's going to be -15x plus 15y and -6z equals -21. So now if we add them side by side, there's going to be -9x and plus 11y's and 0 in this place and -23. So now here we have the second equation, which means we have two equations with two letters. That is something that we made before. Let's write those two equations under each other. So it's going to be 3x minus 22y equals -29. This is the first equation. Now the second one under it, -9x plus 11y equals -23. So we should eliminate one of those two letters like we did before with two equations. Let's choose the color. So it seems like eliminating x will be easier, or eliminating y can be easier. We may do one of them. Which one seems okay to me? Let's try for x. So to eliminate the x values, there is -9x. I should get +9x. So I must make times 3 in here. So 9x 66y equals -90 -87. I think it will be, yes. 3 times 30, 90. 3 less with 87. So then let's copy the second equation once again in here, plus 11y equals -23. So now if we add them side by side, so that will be 0 in here, minus 55y equals, so since both of them are negative, did I do any mistake in the process? Nope, I did not do. So it's going to be 10 in here, 8 plus 2, 9, which is -100. So y equals 100 over 55. So if we simplify by 5, 20 over 11, we can say. So by using this one, we should find the other ones. If I ask you such a question in exam, it won't be this kind of result in here. I will arrange the numbers for this one. Let's check that did we solve this in the class or not. Probably we didn't solve. Let's go there and find it. To the PDFs with the solved problems, equations in here. Probably you are seeing this one right now, not the other ones. So we didn't solve it because probably it's going to be such the transfers. Anyway, let's move on from here. It's not a problem. It will just take time, a lot of time. I hate this kind of questions, which is not divisible. So it is not 100, huh? 7 plus 3. 10. Yes, 110 is in there. What a big mistake. Like I do in the class. Come on. Thank you. Thank you. Who wrote that one? Erzen. Ah, very good. Let's take it back. We'll see. Which is not prepared, but it's going to be minus 110 over 55. Minus 55. Plus 10 points. Okay. So now what should we do? Let's simplify by 11. When you simplify by 11, it's going to be 10 over 5. Also, I simplified the negatives. 2. So let's put this number 2 in one of the equations. Minus 9x plus 11y. Oh, Erzen, you saved me a lot. So now, when you put number 2 instead of y, what a long question. I hate long questions, but I will ask you one. Times 2 equals minus 23. Minus 9x is going to be minus 23. When you put this sum, this product other side is going to be minus 22. So minus 9x equals minus 45. So x should be 5. Now we found the second letter. So to find the third letter, we will choose one equation from up there. The first one seems easy to me. So x plus 6y plus 2z equals 9. Let's put those numbers. X is equal to 5 plus 6 times y is equal to 2 and plus 2z equals 9. So 6 times 2 is 12 plus 5 is 17. When you put that 17 other side of the equation sign, going to be minus 17, which is 2z equals minus 8. So z equals minus 4. So now let's look for the comments and I will solve this with substitution method. Okay. So now let's copy this question to another page and try to show you with substitution method. Actually, not so necessary, but let's do it anyway. So anybody else wrote something from my WhatsApp? No, everybody is writing from here as comments. Good. So I should be Can I keep this on? Is there something else? Anyway, so let's solve this one with the substitution method. So when you want to use the substitution method, you should look for, do we have something like single z, single y, or single x, because it will be a lot more helpful. When you have 2y, 3x, or 3z, later you will need to divide it by that number and it will be a lot hard to solve it. So now, as you see here, we have a single x luckily, so we can use the substitution method easily in this case. So find x in terms of y and z, which means take the first equation, move all other things except x to the other side. So in the other side, we already had 9. So when you move plus 6, going to be minus 6. Then you move plus 2, going to be minus 2 times of z. So now, whatever you found from the first equation, you are going to replace it in the other two of them. So then you will have two equations with two letters, which is, let's replace this one in the second equation. Instead of x, I'm going to write all of this. 9 minus, let's write better, 6y minus 2z. So this was 3x from up there. So now I'm going to continue with minus 2y plus 3z, minus 2y plus 3z. So then equals minus 1. So now let's open parentheses. 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 2 is 6. Minus 2y plus 3z equals minus 1. So let's keep the letters in one side, move the numbers other side. So minus 18 minus 2 makes minus 20y. So then what about the z's? I made a mistake in here, not y, it should be z. What a bad teacher, making mistakes too many times. Minus 6 plus 3 is going to be minus 3z. So now let's look for the numbers. So 27 is in here. Is there any other number in this side? So no number. It was minus 1 in here. When you put minus 7 in 27 to the other side, it's going to be minus 27. Another minus 1 in there. I'm going to be quick in this case. It's going to be minus 28. So now we did replace this one in the second. So I'm going to replace this, whatever I found from first, in the third one. So let's change the color, make it better looking. So in the third one, I have 5x. I don't want any more x. Instead of x, I will replace this one. 9 minus 6y minus 2z. And then how does it continue in after 5x? Now I did 5x minus 5y plus 2z. Minus 5y plus 2z equals 7. So now 5 times 9 is 45. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 2 is 10. Then minus 5y and plus 2z, we just copy them, equals 7. So now let's combine the same letters. Minus 30 minus 5 minus 35y. So then the letters minus 10 plus 2 minus 8z. So now the number part plus 45. When you move other side, it's gonna be minus 45 plus 7 minus 38. I hope that I'm true. If I do a mistake in this step, it will be very bad. So now here we have two equations with two different letters, but let's write them under each other. Minus 20, the first equation, I'm writing this first one, minus 20y minus 3z equal minus 28. Let's make a small changing at the same time. Let's make them all positive. So to be easier for us. So in the other one, they are all in positive. So let's make them all, they are all negative in the second. Let's make them all positive also. It's going to be 35y plus 8z equals 38. So right now, we should eliminate one of those two letters, and it will be very long calculation. We already have solved. I hope that you got the idea of substitution method. You will eliminate one letter, then find two of them from here. To find the third letter x, you will go to this equation. Whatever you found in y, in z in here, you will replace it over there and find the x. So now, do you have any other question from there? Let's go back there. I'm going to check that. Aha, you are writing in sheep. Please, I don't understand that. Come on. I'm sorry about my English. I just, sorry about my English. I hate my English. What can I do for that? Doesn't matter. It's all about learning. So I think there is somebody else in the YouTube. So guys, please write me your questions from WhatsApp so it can be easier for me to get them. Do you have any other question from the PDF that I gave you? That's important. Doesn't matter the rest of the things. So now, do you have any other question from the PDF that I gave you? From this PDF, you can write me the page number so we can go there and look for it. In the first page. Erzan wants the first page one more time. Let's go at that. The first page. Okay, let's solve it one more time. So now, let's wait for this to work with. We are talking about two numbers, which is two different connections should be given about that. The first connection says that their sum is 37. So let's name those two numbers as A and B. When you add them, it's 37. So there should be another connection given about them so we can find those two numbers, which is their difference is 21. The difference of these two numbers when you subtract one from another, it's 21. So now let's move on. Let's solve this one. We should eliminate one of the values, one of the letters over there, since like plus b minus b going to be 0. It's very easy to make it. This part going to be 0. So 7 plus 1 makes 8. 3 plus 2 makes 5. So 1a equals 58 over 2, which is 29. So now guys, is there any other question that you want me to solve from PDF? With percentages. on the raisins. The first page. With percentages. What's that? So now let's go there and find the one with the percentages. So I think this one or the other one. Raisins. What's in that? This one. So now, so we have two different mix, A and B. So they have their percentages. A, B. Let's make a table. So, so here let's write the amount of the raisins and the total amount. Let's write. So the given ratios over there as percentages says that, like the first one is 17%, means that if you have 100 from there, 17 of it will be raisin. So the second one says that if you have 100 from here, then 9 of it will be raisin. So now, so what else do we know? So we want a final. From each one, we will take like X amount from here, let's say Y from this much, X much from here, Y much from there. So it's going to be a total amount which is 300, or let's write the total amount in here, 100 times X, 100 gram times X, and then 100 times Y should be total amount 300. So later, the final one, the percentage of it should be 12, which is, if it was 100, 12 of it should be the raisin. So we should find from here, which is the amount from each. Wait a second. Let's go there. Another one. System of equations. Am I doing a mistake in there? It really mixed my mind a lot. So from the class example, from the solution we did in the class, 12% of all of it should be the raisin part of it, which is, if you multiply these raisin parts out of 100 also, then you should get the 12% of all of it, which is, in here we compare the total amount out of X and Y. So in the second Y, we will compare the raisin amount out of X and Y. So the total would be 300, and 12% of it should be the raisin, which is 3 times 12, 36, 360 gram raisin should be in there. So which is 17 times X. If it was X much from here, 17 times X plus 9 times Y should be equal to 360. So now we have the second equation. We should just eliminate one of those values and move on. So firstly, let's simplify everything by 100 in here. So then we will have 1x, 1y equals 30. So let's eliminate the y numbers in here times minus 9. So minus 9x minus 9y equals minus 270. Minus 9 times 30 will be there. Then 17x plus 9y, we write it again, same, equals 360. So when we add them, 17 minus 9 will be 8x equals 0. Is this the question that I change or not change? Not changed. So it's gonna be 19 here. So x equals 90 over 8. So now leaves an x. So what was the question itself? Find the amount of the from A from B. So now we found the x part of it. Since x plus y was 30 from first equation, after we eliminate by 100, we simplify by 100. So if x part of it is 90 over 8 equals 30, let's draw a line over there. So we can write 30 over 1 and times 8 over there. 240 over 8 minus 90 over 8. Which is 150 over 8 is the y part of it. So now let's check that. Do you have any other question in this time that I was trying to explain? I didn't want to anymore. That 360 again. Okay. So now let's go back to the class documents that we made before. We have two questions with the same idea. So firstly, we do compare out of the total. We say out of 100, this much, these are the ratios. Out of 100, this much ratios, these are the ratios. So if I take x much from first, y much from second, so for total amount, I compare for total amount. So then I compare for the amount that which is asked in the question. So let's go back to here. Did we find the similar results? I think yes, 40 over 3. Yeah. So we check it later. So which is 360. Get that. For the final amount, we want it to be 300 gram, and it will have this much percentage raisin. So which is 12%. We find 12% of 300 gram, 12% of 300 gram, which simply means that 3000, I should say. We divide 3000 by 100, so we find 30, and 12 of it will be the raisin part, raisins, in the total. So we took reason part from A, reason part from B, from A, from B. It should be equal to reason part from the total amount. I hope that okay. So now, do you have any other question from there? From the PDFs? Do you have any other question from this PDF that I made a mistake? Okay, let's go there. Yes, guys, do you have any other question? From the PDF that I shared, do you have any other questions? From 17.8. So let's ask for one more time on the WhatsApp. Want page 41, second example. Page 41. So right now, since I have increased it, 41, 41, 41, 41, it can be 42 in mine. Let's check from the other one, PDF, small. Page 45, 44, 43, 41, the second example, this one. Good. Let's do this one more time. Okay, now. So, firstly, in this kind of questions, if the denominators are same, as you know, we can directly add them. So if they are different from each other, firstly, we try to factorize them. If you cannot factorize any one of them, you have to do the process. Multiply the first one by the other one, which is multiply the first by x plus 3, the second by 9 minus x squared. We do this method if we cannot factorize. Right now, if you realize that, or to be able to factorize things, firstly we look for is there any common factor between them. Since there is no right now, later we check that how many terms are there. If there are two terms, we look for is it related with a squared minus b squared, or a cubed plus or minus b cubed. If there are two terms, if there are three, another method. If there are four, grouping method. So right now there are two terms in here, so it is x squared, so it might be like the form a squared minus b squared. So can I write the 9 as square of a number, which is 3? We can write. So in the class I have made it quickly, but in here let's do right now. Instead of 9, I can use 3 squared minus x squared and copy this next one again in here. After I write that in this case, now I can factorize it as like a squared minus b squared. What was the formula for it? A minus b times a plus b. So it's going to be 10 over 3 minus x, a minus b times a plus b, 3 plus x. So then let's copy the second one again. So for you to see it better, x plus 3 can be written as 3 plus x also. There is no problem about that. So right now I factorize the one that I can. I should check that. 3 plus x, 3 plus x, same. So here I have 3 plus x times 3 minus x. So in the other one, I need to multiply both of numerator and denominator by 3 minus x. So which is going to be 10 over 3 minus x times 3 plus x. So then plus 3 times x, which is x times 3, then x times minus x we are going to do, which is minus x squared over there. So that in denominator part we will have the product 3 plus x times 3 minus x. Now I multiply both of them by 3 minus x. Let's check one more time. X times 3, x times minus x, x times minus x. So now, since the denominators are same right now, we can add the numerator parts. So in denominator, we will have 3 plus x times 3 minus x. When you add the numerators, you will have also, if I write them orderly from biggest power, minus x squared, positive 3x, and positive 10, which can be written as plus 10. So right now we should factorize this expression also, which is, let's do it somewhere else. I didn't give you this in the class in that way, but how did I do it in the class? If there is minus before x squared, take minus parentheses of everything, then it will be a lot quicker. X squared minus 3x, so we change every sign in here. When you put minus out, then you take minus parentheses. So now you should find two numbers which their product is minus 10 and their sum is 3, minus 3. So when there is negative number in here, the difference of the possibilities should be the value in there. So without carrying minuses right now, I just try to find the numbers, which is 2 and 5. Their product is 10, their difference is 3. So now I'm going to arrange their signs, which is it's going to be minus 5 to get minus 3 and plus 2, which their product is minus 10, their sum is plus 2 and minus 5, their sum is minus 3. So when I factorize this expression, I'm going to get something like this was plus 2, x with plus 2, then x with minus 5. So right now check that. Even if I write this one over there by factorizing it, minus times x plus 2 times x minus 5, they won't simplify with the denominator. Those two of them, those two products, those two factors, they won't simplify anything. So I don't even factorize these ones since they don't simplify, but I shouldn't keep them as product. I should multiply them to show as a final answer. Minus x squared plus 3x, we don't factorize it since it is not going to simplify, plus 10. So when you multiply these two, a plus b times a minus b makes a squared, which is 3 squared, 9, minus b squared. So right now, do you have any other question from the PDF? So you don't have any more question. Let's stop this one. Perhaps we open a private one.